Good evening, buddy. Good evening, everybody. Hello, and welcome along to Football Commentary Live, the home of alternative commentary, where we will be bringing you live coverage from the match at Turf Moor as Burnley entertain West Ham United. Burnley looking to pull further clear of the drop zone and edge ever closer toward another season of Premier League football. West Ham, of course, are looking to keep their top four hopes alive with a win at Turf Moor. Of course, earlier on today, we brought you live coverage of the Black Country Derby, which Kieran Riley called for you. It finished West Brom 1, Wolves 1. Wolves, of course, took the lead with Fabio Silva scoring that quite fluky goal, shall we say. He charged down a clearance in the West Brom box to score. Then, of course, West Brom equalised from by Diagne, as the draw already doesn't help the Baggies in their push to beat the drop. But, of course, we will be covering the game live from the Northwest as Russ Vernon is on the mic for Burnley versus West Ham. Before I fetch him in, there were some other games being played across the English pyramid this afternoon in what's been a real rainy and windy day all across England, to be precise. The National League, of course, was in full force today. Torquay got a massive win in their push to try and get out of this division and into the Football League. Of course, they beat Chesterfield by 2-0 to nil. Other headline news came as well, of course, as Stockport recorded a 4-0 win over Wealdstone. And there was also a big win for Halifax Town, who was promotion chasing. They beat Yeovil in their game to win by 3-0. And Bromley won at Hayes Lane by 1-0 against Hartlepool, of course, one of the few sides chasing automatic promotion. In the non-league finals day, in the North-East All Final in the FA Vase, it was in the FA Vase, it was Hebburn Town who beat Consett by 3-2. Congratulations to them winning the 2020 FA Vase final due to, of course, that game being delayed due to COVID. And in the FA Trophy final, Harrogate, of course, promoted from the National League last year, beat Concord Rangers by 1-0, the side in the National League South. So congratulations goes from everybody at Football Commentary Live to those two sides. It's now time to fetch in Russ Vernon, of course, is swapping roles after he was presenting earlier to now being the commentator. First of all, good evening, Russ. How are you?
Good evening, Matt. All good here, thank you, mate. Yourself?
I'm very, very well, thank you. Looking forward to this game. Let's look at the game that we have got in front of us. Obviously, Burnley against West Ham. As I sort of said at the top of the show, Burnley are a team, looking to get another win, very much closer to survival, which is getting ever more increasingly likely they're going to do. West Ham, of course, have been a surprise package in the top 6 of the division. They still got a chance of getting into the top 4. Really, they've got to win tonight to really keep the push on Chelsea. Do you think that this is a game that means more to the Hammers, or does it matter more to Burnley?
I would say to both, because Burnley want to fight off any last-minute hopes of relegation. They're fairly safe for the moment, but West Ham have eyes on that top 4 and a Champions League place as well. They can go back above Tottenham with a win tonight, can the Hammers, and close the gap on to Chelsea. But Burnley down near the bottom, wanting points. Both teams want points for different reasons, so I think it'll matter to both teams, but for different reasons, man.
Yes, absolutely. As you say, West Ham, of course, the visitors tonight to Burnley are currently 6 points away from Chelsea in 4th place. A win will go back to 3 points. Burnley are 9 clear of the drop with, of course, that game in hand that they will be kicking off in about 10 minutes' time. If they win, of course, they'll go 12 points above safety with 4 games to go and pretty much all but secure Premier League survival. So they are nearly edging closer to that. Burnley last time out, Russ, got a very impressive win against Wolves. Of course, scoring 4 on the road at Molineux. We look at their team, it's a pretty much settled side, and it has been for the last few years. And one player who really has been a real key catalyst for them over the last few years is their big number 9, isn't it? Chris Wood, a man you know very, very well from his days as a Leeds United player. What sort of a force can he be up front tonight for Burnley?
Can be a very good force, actually, mate. His big aerial presence along with Dawson and Diop can cause them quite a few problems. Cresswell as well, one of the 3 centre-backs for West Ham United tonight, can cause them quite a few problems. Along with Matty Vidrick, can cause them a few problems getting amongst the goalkeeper for corners, send right underneath the crossbar to Prin and can just flick it in from anywhere. He can also score with his feet, but his aerial presence and his close control is what Burnley like to use him for, going hat-trick in the last game and really, really impressed in the last game. And I can see why Sean Dyche has kept him in and kept the same side as last week in tonight. West Ham have made 5 changes from that 1-0 defeat to Chelsea last time out, but I'll tell you about the changes closer to kick-off and when the teams emerge from the tunnel. And I'll give you the two teams then. We're very good. We're looking to cause them a few problems. 10 plus scores in all 4 seasons for Burnley as Chris Wood. So a very handful and a very decent striker at this level, it seems, for Burnley. They seem to play to his strengths. I'm just looking at one of his goals last week against Wolves. Good turn away from the defence, and he did really, really well to cause a few problems as well. And he manages to read the balls across where defenders don't. And the hat-trick, no one picked him up, and he was a free header inside the box, which saw him claim the hat-trick inside the first half last week. And he's proven to be a good striker for Burnley at this level since he joined them.
Yes, absolutely. He has proved to be a good striker. Excuse me. Look at the opposite team then. West Ham United, of course. There's a notable name back in the starting 11 for them tonight, Russ, is Michail Antonio, of course. He's missed the last few weeks with an injury. Obviously, they've had to sort of put a makeshift player down the middle. We've seen Bone, we've seen Lingard, we've seen sort of Fornals play down the middle for them. But how much sort of stability and how much of a different proposition does Antonio bring to this West Ham side on an attacking point of view? And how much from a defensive side do Burnley have to worry about Antonio? Because it's a very different player to what a few opposition defences have faced in the last few weeks, isn't it?
It is, Matt, yes, and Antonio's a tricky customer. He likes to get in behind, likes to run at defenders, don't let them have a moment's peace, whereas the last few weeks with his Fornals, Ben Rama, Lingard, they like to go create chances themselves and create for other players as well as scoring with Antonio. Yes, he has created a few goals in the past and sometimes this season as well for West Ham, but he's always looking to get a goal, get on the score sheet and cause problems. He likes to run at the defenders, like I said, and he loves to cause problems quite often and very much every time he gets the ball. So he looks to cause problems all of the time.
Yes, absolutely. Well, we are edging closer to kick-off. It's around about 5 or 6 minutes. If you see the clock, of course, it's a 8:15 kick-off, this one from Turf Moor, as it is, of course, 16th place Burnley. You can go up to 13th tonight with a win, as they could go on to 39 points and pretty much secure football in the Premier League for next season. West Ham with a win will go back to 5th and will sit 3 points behind Chelsea, of course. The side in 5th above them is Spurs, who, of course, are back up into the top 5 following their win yesterday at home to Sheffield United. Of course, as well, on Football Commentary Live, the home of alternative commentary. Of course, we've not been bringing you any games this weekend on our official Twitter page at Commentary Live 1. That's of course due to us taking part in the social media blackout, which of course began on Friday evening, and of course will be lifted at 11:59 p.m. tonight. And then, of course, tomorrow we'll be bringing you the Champions League game as PSG entertain Manchester City at the Etihad Stadium, with, of course, Manchester City holding a 2-1 lead from the first leg. Join me and Jack Cunningham for that game. And, of course, there will be a game being brought to you on Wednesday as Chelsea entertain Real Madrid in the second UEFA Champions League semi-final, with that, of course, 1-1 from the first leg at the Estadio Alfredo Di Stefano. The two sides are almost ready to come out of the tunnel. Before I do hand over to you, Russ, I'm just going to get a prediction from you for this game. How do you see it going? Because as we know, it is two sides who don't concede a lot of goals. Burnley, as we know, don't score very often, and West Ham don't score a lot themselves. How do you see it going?
Well, it's Burnley coming into this on the back of an impressive 4-0 win, as we mentioned earlier on. West Ham coming back of this of a 1-0 defeat. Antonio back is a big plus for David Moyes' Hammers, and Chris Wood in fine form for Burnley. I can see it being a score draw today, Matt. I'm going to say a Desmond 2-2.
That's very, very nice what you did there. I like what you did as well there, actually, Russ. Desmond, he says 2-2 is Russ's prediction. Let us know your predictions, of course, on the YouTube pages that we've got, Mike and Russ's to be exact as well. It's now time for me to hand over to your commentator for tonight's game from the match at Turf Moor. It's over to Russ Vernon.
Thank you very much, Matt, and good evening to everyone, and welcome along to this Premier League game. I'm Russ Vernon in your commentary seat for your alternative commentary between Burnley and West Ham. And you're listening to Football Commentary Live. Here is the two lineups which I'll run through in a second. But first of all, Mike Connerman has been in touch. He says Burnley 1, West Ham United 2 for him, and we'll see who is right. Will it be a Desmond, like I said, or will it be a 2-1 win for the Hammers, like Mike has said? We'll look at the two teams now, starting with the home side and Burnley. Between the sticks is number 1, Nick Pope tonight. Then it's the same back four of Matthew Lowton, James Tarkowski, Ben Mee and Charlie Taylor. Ben Mee is the captain. Josh Brownhill, Ashley Westwood, Jack Cork and Dwight McNeil make up the midfield, with Matty Vidra and Chris Wood leading the line. On the bench, Peacock Farrell, Will Norris, Jan Berg Gudmundsson, Ashley Barnes, Dale Stevens, Jay Rodriguez, Eric Peters, Phil Bardsley and Jimmy Dunn. As for West Ham United, they line up with Lucas Fabianski in goal. Then there's Vladimir Kufal, Craig Dawson, Issa Diop and Aaron Creswell at the back. Fornals and Soychek make up the midfield two. In front of them is a front three behind the striker of Manuel Lanzini, side Ben Roma and Jesse Lingard, with Mikel Antonio leading the line. On the bench for West Ham, two goalkeepers as well, Trott and Randolph, Balbuena, Alves, Bowen, Fredericks, Johnson, Rebecca and Coventry. Burnley are unchanged from their game last week against Wolves when they won by 4-0. West Ham made 5 changes from that 1-0 defeat to Chelsea, with Creswell, Benrahma, Lanzini, Dawson, Antonio coming in for Balbuena, Ogbonna, Noble, Bowen and Fredericks. Bowen, Fredericks and Balbuena amongst the subs. Ogbonna and Noble not involved today. The referee for this evening's match is the 42-year-old from Greater Manchester. His name is Anthony Taylor. Refereed 23 Premier League games this season, 3 red cards, 61 yellows, and is awarded 11 penalties. He's assisted by Gary Beswick and Adam Nunn. John Moss is on for official duty, while on VAR it is Stuart Atwell and Mark Scholes is Stuart Atwell's assistant in the VAR studios at Stockley Park this evening. It'll be West Ham to get us off and underway, kicking from right to left in the first half in the all-black strip as the players turn the knee to show support for racism, to stamp out racism and Black Lives Matter. Burnley in their traditional claret and blue, and it's the Hammers who have got us off and underway here at Turf Moor this evening. And it's a good start from the Hammers, and Charlie Taylor has to put it behind for a throw under pressure there from Mikel Antonio. Kufal, who Taylor throwing over on that far side into Antonio. Antonio holds up well, trying to pick out Kufal, and McNeil is there to clear downfield for Burnley. Onto the chest of Chris Wood. It's given away to Lanzini, and West Ham have it back now, and it's Diop in the back, and he knocks it all the way back to Lucas Fabianski in the Hammers goal. We've played 40 seconds. If you want to sync us up to your TVs and listen to our commentary alongside the pictures tonight, as here's Charlie Taylor back to Ben Mee, who hits long downfield, and on the head there was Dawson back in the side today, and he knocks it back now to Fabianski, who takes a touch and then with his left boot clears long downfield. Fabianski is all in yellow today. The referee, Anthony Taylor, is in a green shirt, black shorts, black socks. The referee Burnley claret and blue top, white shorts and claret and blue socks as Diop hits the ball out of play for a throw-in. Mark Noble has travelled despite not being in the matchday squad today for the Hammers, as Burnley have a green. The officials in lime green as Chris Wood heads the ball on, giving away now, and Lanzini picks up for West Ham. Into Creswell. Creswell will look up and knock the ball back into Lanzini once more. Lanzini will look to play the ball back to Diop, and as West Ham will look to keep possession. They've got it back now with Fabianski, who will take a touch and then hit forward, right-footed over towards his left-hand side, where Lingard picks up, but Lingard's pass towards Creswell is out of play, and Burnley have a throw, which Brownhill will leave for Mallerton. 2 minutes and coming up towards 2.5 minutes in this game is Burnley 0, West Ham United 0. 9 goals and 3 assists joining West Ham for Jesse Lingard, as he has been me across to Charlie Taylor. Whips the ball for looking for Matty Vidri down in the corner, flag up down in the corner against Diop, against Dawson there, but he's going out for a throw to the Hammers, which will be taken by Safal. Safal will launch it down the line looking for Antonio. Headed away there by me, and he's picked up now by Bale with Westwood. On to Matty Vidra. Vidra inside the penalty area. How wide he goes to McNeil. McNeil with the cross. Headed away by Diop. Diop sees the ball bounce to Kufal, who hits the ball up towards Mikel Antonio halfway, but Me's there to win the ball back. Here's Lanzini now, and Lanzini will play the ball into Antonio. Now it's with Lingard out wide, it goes to Creswell. Back into Lingard and back to Creswell, and Ben Rama's moved out to this left-hand side with Lingard now in the middle of the attacking trio behind Mikel Antonio, and the ball from Soychek is picked out. Kufal, who had to jog back to keep the ball in place, go up towards Matavidri, knocks the ball back down the line, and he's come off Kufal out for a throw to Burnley. Good start in the opening 4 minutes of this game. Burnley 0, West Ham United 0 in the Premier League. As we watch only a 50th appearance for West Ham for Thomas Soychek today, 12 goals he has scored in the 50 games so far. Looking to add another one today as Antonio flicks the ball on this first Tarkowski, who hits the ball forward. Wood is putting Dawson under pressure behind him, and Manil controls it back to Charlie Taylor and leaves it for me. Hits the ball forward looking for Vidra, and that's had to be hit out of play for a throw to Burnley by Craig Dawson back in the side today. Creswell and me are the two captains, if you're wondering who has got the captain's armband for each side. Here's Charlie Taylor. On to Westwood, back to Taylor. Now McNeil. Back to Cork. Now Lawton. Lawton with the ball and looking for Wood. Headed away. Can't drop for McNeil. Just for Lindsay to fetch the ball away from the Hammers. And now is Creswell the captain. Plays the ball down the line. Headed back by Tarkowski. But he's out of play for a throw to West Ham. It looks like he may have been raining today at Turf Moor. Doesn't look like it is at the moment. Creswell with the throw. Love the ball into Ben Rama. Now on to Antonio. Antonio running away. And Antonio strikes. Got it all wrong in the end and sliced it in the end. Mikel Antonio. And has gone wide inside the opening 5 minutes and 42 seconds. Mikel Antonio picked the ball up and cut inside after a good ball from Ben Rama, but he couldn't take advantage. When one went on the overlap, he took it inside and didn't bother finding Ben Rama. I thought he had a chance of scoring past me, probably found just the wrong side of the post, slightly wrong side of the post, in fact, back in the side after a few weeks out due to injury is Mikel Antonio today. As Jack Cork flicks the ball on his Dwyman Neal, Vidra went down under pressure for a foul, and now West Ham have a throw. No foul was given. West Ham with Lingard to foul, and he hits it forward. Tarkowski is there. Now Lowton and back to Nick Pope by Lowton being told by his captain Ben Mee to play back to him. Pope right footed, so he kicks forward, but he can't find the head of McNeil and goes out for a throw to West Ham. Matavidra just limping a little bit here, could be forced into an early change, could West Ham United. As I take a sip of water, as Antonio chases onto his own flick on, but Tarkowski reads that and hits the ball forward. Vidra can't reach there, and now it's Westwood to head the ball forward for Vidra. Good control by Matty Vidra. Back he goes to McNeil. He's got Taylor on the overlap if he wants to use him, but McNeil's still going. McNeil looks to get the cross in, but he comes back off to have McNeil from Kufaun's block, and he's out for a goal kick to the Hammers, which will be taken by Lucas Fabianski. Good start for both teams here. Good start then from both sides, as I've mentioned. Sean Dyche is watching on from the touchline, shouting instructions to his players as both teams will look to get a win on board. David Moyes is shouting some instructions out as well to his players. As Mee wins the header for Cork. Cork can't turn it forward. Mee up against Antonio, and Antonio be told to continue the players. West Ham have possession. Here's Creswell for Ben Rama. Ben Rama goes inside to Lingard. Lingard to Creswell. He's got 4 hours outside of him, but Creswell puts the ball in, and it's an header from Soychek into the arms of Nick Pope, who will boot the ball forward over on the left to Matty Vidra, and there's a great kick from Nick Pope. Vidra, forward for Chris Wood. Inside the penalty area, Chris Wood. Back it goes now to McNeil. Dwayne McNeil into the box. Inside the box now. Back out wide to Charlie Taylor. Taylor with the crossing towards Brown the far post. Fabianski punches clear. And now Ben Rama can run the ball clear for West Ham United. Good start there from Burnley down their left-hand side. Getting a lot of joy down their left-hand side and West Ham's right at this moment in time. They've not tried coming down their right-hand side much just yet. It's still Burnley 0, West Ham United 0 as Fabianski plays a ball to Dawson, who kicks forward. Mee's up there to win the header, and now Westwood from Taylor's pass. Now it's McNeil. He's plays it to Cork, who in turn finds Tarkowski to Loughton. And Loughton will now find Nick Pope, his goalkeeper. He takes touch with his right foot and then it's downfield under pressure from Mikel Antonio, and he kicks the ball out of play for a throw, which Creswell takes to Lanzini back to Diop. Diop will play it into the path of Fabianski onto Dawson, who was quickly closed down by Chris Wood. And McNeil closes down Kafal, but Kafal gets it clear before McNeil can get there, and it's gone out for a throw to Burnley, which you have now been back in possession with Tarkowski. Still forward looking for Vidra. Now he drops for Dwayne McNeil onto Charlie Taylor, to Jack Cork. Now Mee. Now Westwood. Burnley having a lot of possession so far, looking to work an opening. Burnley doing well in the last few games. We'll tell you how it is in a minute. It is Antonio coming forward. Michael Antonio into the penalty. Still got Michael Antonio. Ball across. Mee and Taylor. Taylor and the defenders can't get the ball clear. Comes out to Lanzini, who strikes just over the bar from Manuel Lanzini, and Burnley almost caught out there, and that would have been a fantastic goal from Manuel Lanzini, who has done well for West Ham when he's had possession today. Lanzini, that's not far away from the West Ham midfielder. Still goalless if you're just tuning in to us here on Football Commentary Live, the home of alternative commentary. Lucas Fabianski collects the ball. Lingard has scored 2 goals in 8 appearances against Burnley. Both goals was scored in a 2-2 draw against Manchester United in December 2017. Burnley have conceded the second most goals, joining with Leeds with 10 in the opening 15 minutes. They'll be looking not to add to that one today. And now West Ham with Cathal over on that far side. Cathal with the crossing. Looking towards Antonio's over his head. And Brownell is there to clear for Burnley. Good bit of play by West Ham and Cathal down the right hand side. Here's Vidra giving the ball away. And then Diop wins it. Now Lanzini for West Ham. Coming forward is Lanzini. Now Lingard, Lanzini, Creswell, Lanzini. Good play this from West Ham United. Still goalless then if you're just tuning into us here on Football Commentary Live. Here's Ben Rama into the path of Soychek. How wide it goes. Ball in from Safal. Cleared away. Back into Safal. Lingard lets it run into Fornals, and Lingard can't go on the end of that, and he pushes Taylor in the back, and Burnley will have a goal kick here. Could have been a free kick if the ball was in play, but the ball had gone out of play before it even got to the West Ham man. As mentioned, commentary is coming up this week. Join Matt House and Jack Cunningham on Tuesday. So tomorrow, as Manchester City take on PSG in the Champions League. Man City lead 2-1 from the first leg, and then join Matt House on Wednesday for Chelsea against Real Madrid, and then you can join Mike Hardiman for Villarreal versus Arsenal on Thursday evening in the Europa League. And now it's with the Diop. It's the forward for West Ham onto Antonio, and then Lurton knocks the ball back into the path of Nick Pope. Ball is brought down, is still goalless as Jack Cork turns away from Fornals and feeds in Charlie Taylor. Taylor looking for movement in front of him. He has to go back to Cork, looks. No one in a cloud of blue shirt was moving forward. Now me. To Purple, kicks forward with his right foot and it bounces. One bounce through to Fabianski, who then throws to Diop, and West Ham will have possession and can come forward. Here is Creswell. Now Diop from Lanzini's pass, and now Soychek back to Diop once more. Now it's with Lucas Fabianski, the West Ham goalkeeper, takes a touch and clears long with his right boot up over halfway on towards Antonio, but Tarkowski reads the situation well. Brownell fetches the ball down on to Chris Wood, back to goal. Wood now turns, can't get the ball back into Brownell's path, and now Soychek can fetch the ball away for West Ham onto Creswell. Good play from both sides so far in the opening 16 minutes of the first half. Burnley 0, West Ham United 0 is the scoreline if you're just tuning in, as the ball is over it from Cathal all the way into the path of Nick Pope. Burnley's first team will be hoping to do one better than their under-23s did earlier on today. Their under-23s were hammered 5-2 by champions Leeds United in Premier League 2. As a ball over top for Chris Wood. Chris Wood inside the penalty area. Still going Chris Wood. All's up well. Still goes down. Wood goes down. And Burnley have got a penalty. Burnley have been awarded a penalty kick here. And Burnley have a big chance to take the lead. Chris Wood is brought down. Over the ball over the top from Westwood. He gets to the ball first. He's onside. Diop falls onto the foot. Chips over Diop. Chips it again. And Soicek looks like he's caught him there. Or did he get a touch of the ball? He didn't get a touch of the ball. Catch him on top of his knee. After the ball had gone. And Burnley have a spot kick now. Definite penalty for me, that. Some may say not, but it is for me, and Burnley have a chance to take the lead here against West Ham United. It's going to be Chris Wood to take against Lucas Fabianski. Can Chris Wood score? He's scored his last 5 penalties as a New Zealander. What can Chris Wood do here? Can he score again for Burnley? Chris Wood for Burnley. Steps up. Right footed. And he scores! And Burnley take the lead. It's Chris Wood from the penalty spot. He was the man who was brought down. And by Soicek. They all checked it. Definite goal, penalty. The goal he took away to the bottom corner, right corner of the net. Fabianski guessed the right way, but he couldn't keep the shot out. And West Ham United are behind it. Burnley 1, West Ham United 0. 150th club career goal for Chris Wood. And on 19 minutes, Burnley have the lead. It's Burnley 1, West Ham United 0. Good start from the team that are in the Claret and Blues tonight, in the Claret and Blue derby. And Burnley went out of pitch led as Charlie Taylor trying to get the ball forward and gives possession back to West Ham. Burnley 1, West Ham United 0. The ballers are wide with Said Ben Rama. And Burnley take the lead. And Burnley lost 1-0 in the last meeting through Mikel Antonio's 9th minute goal, which would have scored on 19 minutes. 10 minutes later than the goal was scored in the last one. Can Burnley get their 6th Premier League victory over the Hammers, or will the Hammers get their 7th, get their 8th win over Burnley in 14 matches? Currently having played 13, Burnley 5 wins, West Ham 7, with 1 being a draw. And what is Ben Rama ball into Lingard? Now it's Fornals. Shot is charged down there by Ben Mee, and now Dwight McNeil can turn away. He loses out to Fornals though, and Fornals will look to play Lingard in on the overlap on the right hand side. Back he goes to Safal. Safal crosses, and Antonio's there, and West Ham are level. They went behind for long. Just a couple of minutes behind where West Ham, should I say. 2 minutes in the lead with Burnley. And West Ham United are level. Just 2 minutes later, Antonio with the header from Safal's cross. And when the ball comes in, he's onside, nudges Lawton out of the way. No foul though. And Mikel Antonio says, "Thank you very much." And he heads over the back post. And in the Clareton Blue Derby. It's Burnley 1, West Ham United 1. And West Ham are back on level terms, and he's back amongst the goal scoring chart. Mikel Antoni's 8th goal of the season in the Premier League this campaign as Charlie Taylor now comes forward for Burnley, looking to get back in the lead, and Burnley with a throw, which McNeil will leave for Taylor to take. Cork makes a run into the space to clear the throw from Charlie Taylor. Now feeds McNeil, and he works a good ball there, just Jack Horton and McNeil. In towards Matty Vidra, headed away in there by Diop and Dawson and Soychek. And now West Ham will look to fetch the ball away. It's Ben Rama, the former Brentford man. Down the line he goes to Aaron Creswell. Creswell knocks it against Lawson, and Burnley now have possession again. Burnley 1, West Ham United 1. If you're just tuning into Football Commentary Live, Mr. Great game earlier in the Black Country Derby where West Bromwich Albion drew 1-1 with Wolverhampton Wanderers. That was brought to you by Kieran Riley on the mic. For that one, I was on the presenting duty. I did my game, which I'm covering here tonight. It is Soychek playing the ball out wide and is picked up by Kufal. Kufal looks to put the ball out wide again. Fornals into Lanzini. No, Lanzini into Ben Rama. Ben Rama now to Creswell. Creswell across now to Jesse Lingard. Lingard will look and try and take on Lurton. He delivers the ball in, but the cross was too near towards his England teammate Nick Pope. It's Burnley 1, West Ham United 1 here on Football Commentary Live, the home of alternative commentary. If you want to get in touch with us and see what we're doing, you can do. Our Twitter handle is a Commentary Live one. If you want to contact us on Twitter, we'll not be responding to any tweets or anything until back from tomorrow. Also on our Facebook page, facebook.com/footcom live is where you can follow the stuff on Facebook, which will post out the games which we have got coming up in the next few days. As the ball is forward looking for Chris Wood, who's up against Dawson, and Dawson gets that there first, and foul blocks off Vidra to stop him from getting the ball back for Burnley. Here's Chris Wood, heads it back to Cork. Down the line he goes towards McNeil. Now it's Soychek. West Ham just having the ball and playing it around at the back, but they've given Burnley possession back. And now is Brown allowed wide for Lawton. Can Lawton get there ahead of the Creswell, the West Ham left back? And he does. Keeps the, and it's out for a throw. He's still got the ball, and gives the ball to Lanzini now for Creswell. Creswell to Creswell, so West Ham can take their throw, and he does turn the throw to Lanzini. Westwood with a little nudge in the back, nothing untoward with that one. As Bentley, it's forward. Here's Jack Cork. Jack Cork as the ball is out wide to Charlie Taylor. Charlie Taylor has the ball out wide. He's nod the ball back to Bentley, and Bentley will nod the ball even further back to Nick Pope. Nick Pope heads on looking towards Matty Vidra. Vidra can't get there, and Kafal can. Into the path of Soychek. Soychek will fetch the ball forward and find towards Ben Rama. West Ham have the ball back and is it forward, looking to pick out Chris Wood, and West Ham regain possession. And now it's Lanzini. On to Dawson. And Wood and Vidra keep swapping to cause the Hammers defence problems up front there, so I don't know who to pick up as is Lingard running. He gives the ball away to Brownhill, and Brownhill will find McNeil. McNeil will run at Kufal, who's got Lingard on him, and he and Lingard puts the ball out of play. You're listening to Football Commentary Live, Premier League action as Burnley take on West Ham United. It's currently 1-1 if you're just joining us. Chris Wood gave Burnley the lead from the penalty spot, a deserved penalty as well on 19 minutes before Mikel Antonio equalised just 2 minutes later on 21. As it is Tarkowski now, it's hitting the ball forward right footed towards Matty Vidra. Drops for Chris Wood on the edge of the box. Brownhill challenges Lanzini. Lanzini comes out on top. Ball is for his court. Now it's Taylor. Charlie Taylor out wide to Dwight McNeil. Down the line it goes for Charlie Taylor. Taylor with the cross in towards the penalty area. Comes off a foul. And comes off Dawson, should I say, behind for a throw. Good bit of play for Burnley down the left hand side. They've got the defenders coming forward. We've got Tarkowski coming forward. We've got Ben Mee coming forward. Jack Cork in the penalty area as well. We're standing around Lucas Fabianski at another near post. Chris Wood standing just behind him. He's got Ben Mee and Tarkowski in there too. And he's in towards the penalty area. Headed away. Lowton back in. Ball is for Lanzini. Now he's out wide with Lingard to fetch the ball forward. Now he's got Creswell on the overlap, and Creswell can chop back onto Lingard. Into Lanzini. Now it's on to Benrahma, whose shot is blocked. Brownhill gets the ball away. Now falls for Souček. Now is Lingard. Lingard says to Benrahma on the overlap, so I can cut inside and then feed it out wide, which he has done. And Benrahma sees Creswell go on the overlap and he puts the ball in. And it's in again from Antonio. And West Ham have come from behind to lead. And it's Mikel Antonio again who scored it. His second goal since tonight and his second since returning to the side as well. And Mikel Antonio has given West Ham the lead for the first time on 29 minutes. And it's Burnley 1, West Ham United 2. It comes off of Antonio's knee from Benrahma's cross. No one picked him up. No one saw him coming. He's onside as the cross came in. And Burnley were in the lead 10 minutes ago and now behind it. Burnley 1, West Ham United 2. And what a turnaround. Fantastic turnaround it has been as well. As Burnley 1, West Ham 2. As Brownhill now picks up for the Clarets. Out wide it goes to Brownhill. Moves to Wood, who couldn't find his strike partner in Vidra. And then brace from Antonio has turned the game on its head. Is Burnley 1, West Ham United 2 is the scoreline, as Burnley will be ruined to miss some of their missed chances early on if they were to get something. If they weren't to get anything from this. Is Burnley 1, West Ham United 2 is the scoreline as we watch on as Fabianski will take his time before taking the goal kick, which he now takes right-footed up towards halfway and over halfway, up towards Antonio. He's backing into Tarkowski there. Pures from ball, nothing given. This comes to Souček. Souček out wide for Fornals, and Fornals will look to pull the ball in. Souček was in there. Antonio too. Lingard just lurking on the edge. And Vidra closing down Craig Dawson with the help of Chris Wood, who's telling legs of Brownhill, Cork, McNeil, Westwood to pile on the pressure as well. And it's forced him all the way back. As Lanzini picks up on the edge of the box. his own box that is. And now from Fornals is out wide to Soychek. This on for Kufal into Fornals. Fornals has got Ben Rama on the overlap. He's got Ben Rama into the box now. Said Ben Rama crosses just wide from Said Ben Rama. And he wasn't far away, Michael Antonio on the far post, from getting a first half hat-trick. And won just 3 minutes after putting West Ham into the lead. Ben Rama with a superb cross towards the back post. Michael Antonio sliding, just going to get a total out. Otherwise, that would have been 3-1 to West Ham and Burnley. Or really looking over their shoulder at a potential relegation if West Ham hold on to this lead as Wood goes down. No foul though from Anthony Taylor, the Greater Manchester official. And now West Ham have picked out Creswell, who knocks into Soychek, who turns away and feeds into Fabianski, who takes a touch and left-footed passes out wide to Kufal, down the line for Fornals, who flicks into the path of Antonio, and then feeds on to Ben Rama, running at Malloton, and Ben Rama is still running through towards Lingard, and Lingard can't get into that, and Charlie Taylor led the ball running to the path of Nick Pope. And Ben Rama did brilliantly to run of the defence, couldn't pick out a pass for Lingard or Fornals over on that far side, and Lanzini now has possession as Burnley have given the ball away. He's now with Creswell on this near side of the left. As he hits the ball forward looking towards Antonio on the far post, and Nick Pope will come and collect. Side Ben Rama, joined from Brentford, who has been a good signing for the Hammers and has done fairly well. His ball's in towards Vidra. Vidra still going. Matty Vidra over the top. Headed off the line by Dawson. And Matty Vidra thought he got barely level there. But for the great bit of defensive play from Craig Dawson. But now Tarkowski has it for Burnley. The danger not over yet as Burnley will come again. Ball it over the top again. Towards Chris Wood. Coming off the head of Diop and Fabianski claims. And now that brings an end to the danger. And Diop's header was important there. We just see the ball again. Lowton with the ball over the top for the Vidra chance. He arm-muscled Diop over the top of the defence of the onrushing Fabianski. But Dawson read that situation well to get back on the line and clear away. West Ham can play with Kufal. Keeps all the possession. Here's Lingard wide. Good bit of play. Thank Kufal. Ben Rama's on the overlap down the outside. Ben Rama will find Kufal, who puts the ball in towards Antonio Soychek, but Pope is there. He hits long looking to pick out Chris Wood up against Dawson. Putting Dawson under pressure. The hands on his back there from Chris Wood to let him know it was around, and Burnley will look to come away with the ball, and Burnley will keep hold of possession. It is Creswell who finds Lanzini to Lingard to Lanzini to Ben Rama to Lingard, and West Ham have got a free kick foul on Ben Rama. Ben Rama feels is now big 2-1, so takes off his. There's a break in place, so Ben Rama take on some fluid and some drinkers. It is Ramadan, so we can take a break in play. They were doing it for West Ham for now doing it in this match for Said Ben Rama as well, and it gives the chance for some of the players to take on fluids as Creswell will take a free kick for West Ham United. We're 2-1 up now since goals from Antonio 21 and 29 minutes, turning this game around after Chris Wood from the penalty spot gave Burnley the lead on 19 minutes. Creswell with the free kick, and he's come all the way through to Dawson at the far post. He's got Taylor for company, and he plays it off of Taylor to win a throw for his side, and he gives a chance for the likes of Dawson, Diop from centre back to get back in position. Kufal with the throw to Ben Ron, back to Kufal. Turns away, and the ball is in towards the penalty area. Turned away from McNeil there, and Wood helps the ball on as the ball was headed out by Ben Mee, and now Dawson has Ben Rom, and now it's Fornals. He's got Kufal on the overlap. He puts the ball in towards Antonio Ben Rom in there, but he's headed behind for a throw by Tarkowski. James Tarkowski with possession. Here's Fornals again. And Kufal back to Sojek. Sojek's shot is a wayward one, and his fouling God who manages to keep it in. Now it's Ben Rama who looks to take on his man, and he does. Past Brownlow, chips to the back post. Antonio keeps it moving live. He's come now for Fornals. Fornals, well, that's Kufal. Back to Fornals again, in towards the penalty area. Nick Pope comes through a crowd of bodies, caught his own man Tarkowski on the back of the head as he came and collected the ball, but Burnley trailing by 2 goals to 1 coming up towards the end of this first half. If you're just tuning into us, where have you been for the last almost 3 hours? As we brought you commentary on West Brom against Wolves, which finished 1-1, and we're bringing commentary on this game, which is Burnley 1, West Ham United 2. And here's McNeil down the line for Taylor. Back it goes to me. And now Tarkowski gets the ball forward. Creswell is there and he's gone out. And the flag's up there for offside against Chris Wood. And I'm not sure it was. I need to, if they will show us, see a replay of that. Looks as though the rain is teaming down for all the players are looking like they are wet at Turf Moor. Burnley 1, West Ham United 2. Fabianski hits the ball forward and he's gone all the way through to Nick Pope, who rolls the ball out, and now Charlie Taylor will hit the ball forward. And the ball is out wide for Mal Lowton, and ball's it forward again. Creswell cuts the ball out as it was looking for Wood. Madrid challenges in there, Lowton in there too. He comes from McNeil and almost gave the ball away, but Cork won it back, and now Brownlow. Westwood, crossfield pass for Charlie Taylor. Heads down, inside to McNeil. Plays a lovely 1-2 with McNeil. Taylor puts the ball in. Comes out towards the edge of the box. It's Westwood on the edge of the penalty area. Now Jack Cork will lifts the ball in towards Lowton on the far post. Can Lowton keep the ball in? He can't. And Lowton hits it into the crowd, into the empty stands, and it's one of the, because an advertising board behind that goal. It's a bit disappointing to come together. We're just looking at the penalty incident again. Wood does really, really well to chip it over Dawson, then Sojek comes across. Anthony Taylor fought it for 30 seconds and then he gave it. And then Chris Wood puts it into the bottom court, right. Left hand corner is Burnley attacked. Right corner is Fabianski's goal, but Fabianski gets the right way to keep the ball out of play. It's headed forward there by Diop, and Diop will watch it come back towards him. And West Ham with Souček wins dead in the middle of the park. Taylor lets the ball bounce out for a throw, and he will clear the ball again. Coming up towards the end of the first half, it's Burnley 1, West Ham United 2. If you're just joining us here on Football Commentary Live, the home for alternative commentary. And here is Tarkowski. Tarkowski now for Malorton. Malorton will feed him me. And me will play the ball out wide to Taylor. Back to me. And me, it's the forward. Looking towards Chris Wood, which Dawson's there off. Sitting against Chris Wood. And then Dawson has to play it out wide to still foul. Otherwise the ball will probably going to have to play for a corner as he come off him last. Here is me who battles well, but they can't keep hold of possession for Burnley. So foul turns away from McNeil. And he's out of play for a throw which came off Charlie Taylor. And God is across there. Now it's Brownell. Brownell into Westwood, and now wide is McNeil. Dwight McNeil takes on Cafal brilliantly. Still going Dwight McNeil. Cafal still battling with him. McNeil puts the ball in towards the penalty area. Vigil comes across. Souček gets it away though in the nick of time. Lanzini under pressure from Vidra. Plus Souček under pressure and he gave the ball away. It is now Cork. Out wide to McNeil. McNeil's crossed towards the back post where Brownlow was lurking. Comes out to Lurton. Ball back in towards the penalty area. Wood flicks it on. Cleared away by West Ham. Lanzini's there. And Lanzini will fetch the ball forward. Here's Fornals. And Fornals will find in Jesse Lingard. Lingard will fetch the ball forward. Here's Creswell. Back into Lingard. Now Creswell again. Now here's Ben Rama. Ben Rama still going. He goes down. And it's just Tarkowski. And he wins Burnley a free kick there. Coming up towards the final 60 seconds of normal time to go before we see how many minutes of stoppage time will be added on. I'll probably, if we were to hazard a guess, probably say about 1, maybe 2 minutes potentially in the first half stoppage time. Burnley 1, West Ham United 2. Thanks for tuning in, Mike. He's listening to myself and to our friends over at JB Sports, sister channel, JB Sports. You can go and listen to alternative commentaries on there as well. As there's Taylor hitting the ball forward up towards Wood, who can't control, and he knocks the ball away. Now is Ben Rama. Ben Rama fetches the ball forward. He's got the ball out wide to go to Lingard. Lingard has Ben Rama on the overlap, and Ben Rama's cross is poor, and he's behind for a goal kick to Burnley. As we enter first half stoppage time, which we have 2 minutes of. I got it spot on. I said either 1 or 2 minutes. And then if I have to guess, it would be 2. And that's where we've got 2 minutes of stoppage time at the end of the first half. Burnley 1, West Ham United 2 is the scoreline. Here, Sean Dyche barks out instructions. End of this first half as it's with Nick Pope who will kick long downfield over halfway. Headed back by Souček and he's collected by me, who hits the ball forward, just on back of foul, and now he's headed in there and headed again forward, giving the ball to McNeil. McNeil goes down and wins Burnley a free kick, and then Lanzini, I think he was, who killed the ball away. Burnley appealing for a booking for kicking the ball away, but nothing given. Indeed, Mike, 150th goal for Chris Wood's career from the spot today as well. 7 in the last 8 against West Ham United as well for the Burnley man and the former Claret. And the former Leeds man, should I say. As the ball is in the penalty area, Tarkowski flicks the ball on, Vidger's across there with foul, and Vidra can't prevent the ball from going out for a goal kick to Burnley. 2 attempts, goal kick to West Ham, should I say. 2 attempts to Burnley, 10 attempts to West Ham. And if I have a look, 3 on target for West Ham, 2 for Burnley in the first half. Coming up towards half time, then will whistle be blown any second now from the Greater Manchester official in Anthony Taylor. And as Fabianski takes that goal kick, the whistle does sound, and the half-time whistle has blown. It's Burnley 1, West Ham United 2. Wood gave Burnley the lead on 90 minutes from the penalty spot after he was broken by Sojcek. Antonio then equalised on 21 minutes with a fantastic header in the back post, and then he kneed into the back post as well from Benrahma's cross. For West Ham in the lead, Burnley have a talk to do if they get anything out of this, but they have got some chances. West Ham 2 as well. But at half time, it is Burnley 1, West Ham United 2.
Thank you very much, Russ. Well, we will bring him back in very, very shortly to discuss what he saw in that first half and what he thinks could be coming up for the second half, which will be kicking off in around about 15 minutes' time. As Russ alluded to, it is Burnley 1, West Ham 2 in this one at Turf Moor. So the Hammers, as it stands, are currently closing the gap to 4th place Chelsea by 3 points in the Premier League table, of course, and they will leapfrog Spurs to go back into 5th place. As David Moyes' side, who did fall behind in this one tonight, which kicked off at 8:15, but have responded to score 2 goals in just under 10 minutes, that has given them the lead at the break. Elsewhere in the footballing world, of course, as we know, the EFL last weekend is coming up this weekend. As we know, the Championship League 1 and League 2 will finish. Championship, of course, gets underway at 12:30, with every side kicking off at 12:30. And, of course, League 2 will be kicking off at 3 p.m. on the Saturday. And then on Sunday, we will have League 1, which will be kicking off at 12:30. The National League, of course, is still going on. There are about 7-8 games left for the majority of the division. Of course, some sides do have a lot more games to play. There were some games on earlier as well. Boreham Wood and Kings Lynn finished 5-1 to Boreham Wood. Bromley doubt Hartlepool's promotion hopes a real bit of tatters as they won 1-0 at Hayes Lane. Torquay United stay top of the division. They beat Chesterfield by 2-0 at the Proact Stadium. Dagenham and the Technique Stadium, I should say. Dagenham and Redbridge beat Woking by 3-1. Maidenhead and Wrexham was 2 apiece. Solihull Moors beat Altrincham 4-0. There was also a 4-0 as Stockport wiped the floor with Wealdstone, of course, the side who won the National League South title last year. Barnet, who turned a corner under Simon Bass, who's their 4th manager of the season, recorded a 2-0 win at the Bob Lucas Stadium to beat Weymouth, and Halifax beat Yeovil at Hewish Park by 3-0 to maintain their place in the top 6. Of course, it was non-league finals day as well this afternoon. Hebburn Town beat Consett in the FA Vars final. Of course, it was supposed to be played around about this time last year, but of course, due to COVID cutting short that competition, it meant it had to be played just under a year later. In that North East final, it's Hebburn who've prevailed, so congratulations to them. And then in the FA Trophy final, Harrogate, of course, who are now in League 2, remember. They beat Concord Rangers, who've not actually had a game for nearly 4 months now, would you believe? Concord put up a fight, but Harrogate's captain, Josh Falkenham, scored in that game to record a big win at Wembley. Their second one they've had at Wembley in 9 months. Of course, they won the player final in August against Notts County. So from everybody at Football Commentary Live, congratulations to them and to Hebburn Town, who have, of course, won the FA Vase. And, of course, the 2021 finals for both of those competitions will be taking place this month as well. So they won't be able to hold on to their respective trophies for a very long time. We have more live commentaries to bring you on Football Commentary Live tomorrow. Of course, we will be back to our usual familiar surroundings of being on Twitter as the blackout for the social media and the tweeting to hopefully stop racial injustice and abuse online will be lifted. Of course, it will be lifted at 11:59 tonight. Catch me and Jack Cunningham bring you commentary of Manchester City against PSG. Manchester City 90 minutes away from a first ever Champions League final. They have to get the job done against Mauricio Pochettino's side. And then, of course, on Wednesday, I'll be bringing you action of Chelsea against Real Madrid at Stamford Bridge. Can Thomas Tuchel take another side to a Champions League final, just as he did with Paris Saint-Germain last year? I think it might be about time to bring Russ back into the halftime discussion. First of all, Russ, Burnley went in front via the Chris Wood penalty. I shared the same opinion of you that it was a penalty. It was a rather clumsy foul from Thomas Souček, and it continues his fine record of scoring against West Ham. It's 7 goals against West Ham for Chris Wood. Just talk to me about the penalty in particular. What do you think made the decision be a penalty?
Yes, it was a fantastic ball over the top. He beat the up to the ball and he brought it down very, very well, chipped it over him, his head going behind, he chipped it past Souček, about to chip it beyond Fabianski, and he gets to the ball first, and I'm just looking at it again here. Souček doesn't get a touch to the ball, and Souček's foot caught Wood on the knee, and it was a definite penalty kick there. But from a West Ham defensive point, it wasn't very good defending. He then stepped up. Fabianski gets the right way, but couldn't get down there to keep the ball out of the goal. So good stuff from Burnley.
Yeah, it was an emphatic penalty by Chris Wood, the New Zealander, down low, and Fabianski tried his best to save it, but he could do nothing to stop it. And then, around about 2 minutes later, West Ham equalised with Michail Antonio back in the side and back amongst the goals. I mean, we could talk about how well Antonio did to get in that position, but one thing that stood out was that cross from Vladimir Sofar, which we've been very much used to seeing this season since he joined the Hammers from Slavia Prague. It was a good ball and a good header, wasn't it, Russ?
He was. He looked as if he looked to see where Antonio was going to make the run. I think Antonio probably may have pointed his hand to say where he wanted it, or just before. Must have said before the game started, if you get the ball out wide, I'm going to be in the back post, try to put it between the centre back and the right back. That's what they've done today, and that's a fantastic header. Just looking at the second one here as well, Lingard collected the ball on the left-hand side, told Benrahma to go on the overlap, which he used him. Benrahma then just stopped I think it's McNeil tracking back, and Antonio is between Taylor and Tarkowski. No one, they didn't pick him up, and as that ball came in from Benrahma, he had a free run on it, and he just came off his knee before going into the back of the net. And you can see some of the players who would normally be bad there just stood. You can see one of the players, Chris Wood, racing back in. But the other players, you can see them all just stood there watching the ball, no looking where Antonio was. No one were looking where Antonio was. You can see on the freeze frame there, Charlie Taylor could see him. He didn't pick him up, and it was a fantastic header to put fantastic goal off his knee to put West Ham in the lead, and a deserved lead since they equalised.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that really stood out there is, of course, as we know, people who were regular watchers of the Championship last season, I know you were speaking very highly of him at certain points in your commentary, Ross, was Saeed Ben Rama, how he loves to come in from that left-hand side onto his right foot and put balls into the box. Burnley would have known about that. I know a few teams would have certainly been keeping an eye on that when he has played the Algerian, which has been scarce, to be fair. But, of course, he really shone in that first half at times. Of course, a man who we did see as well observe a bit of fluid taking and a bit of hydration and getting some food on board, of course, as he's been fasting due to the sort of Muslim celebration of Ramadan, which, of course, has forced players to take a certain period where they don't have any food or drink. We saw Wesley Fofana do it last week, and of course Saeed Ben Rama has followed suit. The first half for us, I mean, look at it from that point of view, I thought West Ham shaded it in terms of they just had a little bit more threat about them. I think that they are looking to get pretty much a lot of joy from the wide areas, aren't they? In particular, that right-hand side or Burnley's defensive left, isn't it? Do you think that they will be looking to continue with that in the second half? Because Burnley were pretty much struggling to deal with that, weren't they?
They were, Matt, yes, they were struggling to deal with that. And I think they'll probably continue to target Charlie Taylor and McNeil down Burnley's left hand side, West Ham's right, but I've got going on the right hand side a couple of times against Brownhill and Lowton. Brownhill is not naturally right winger. He's a centre back from when he played for Preston and for Bristol City in the Championship the few years ago. So I think they'll target both sides, but they've seem mainly targeting on the left hand side because when Taylor pushes up and McNeil pushes up, there's a big gap out there because then he leaves me and Tarkowski having to come across to cover. He drags Cork out to the middle so then they can get it out wide and then play it into the middle where they've got the likes of Lanzini, Fornals, Soychek, all getting in that middle area, Lingard as well at times. So they've got players interchanging in that role and in that position. So if they can drag out the right and left back of Burnley, Matt Lowton and Charlie Taylor, along with the wingers, one who's not naturally a winger, but the other one was a winger in McNeil and Brownhill as well as Lowton and Taylor. Seem to be getting a lot of joy down there. I think Sean Dyche should be telling him not to, if Taylor pushes up, tells me you come across, Cork, you drop back into centre back alongside Tarkowski. So they've still got like a back four because at times they're playing with a back three. Burnley when West Ham are attacking in that scheme, West Ham a lot of the joy down either flank, especially when either Lowton or Taylor is getting forward.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we can give the praise for West Ham, but I think one thing in particular, Burnley have shown flashes. I mean, they are a side, Burnley, who a lot of the time don't create a lot of opportunities. They don't, force a lot of chances toward the opposition goalkeeper. But they, as I sort of was just saying, they have shown a few signs that they can hurt West Ham. There's one person in particular I noticed was struggled at times in that first half. Was this a Diop? So Sean Dyche, I don't think will be given their hair dry. I wouldn't have thought Russ at halftime, would he? I think he'll be slightly encouraged, but of course, defensively, they do have to improve a little bit. But attacking, do you see something from Burnley that thinks that it can make your prediction of 2-2 come to life come 90 minutes? Or better, or even more for that fact, before you answer the question.
Yes, I think so, because if they can keep getting the ball up to Chris Wood and getting Wood in and challenging Diop and getting Vidra just coming off, playing just off him a little bit, it could potentially work there. Chris Wood and Diop, that's been a good battle in that first off. Wood, 9 times out of 10 has come out on top. There's been the odd occasion where Diop has come out the better, or Dawson had to come across and help cover him as well. But I can see if they continue to play that way and keep getting Wood on Diop quite more in this second half, I can see Bale having more joy and probably getting that second goal to be 2-2 or even getting more. But they need to, if Burnley are to get anything out of this or even get a draw, they need to get the next goal for me. If West Ham get it, it's going to be all over before it's going to be all over and it's going to be a long old order for Burnley to get back into this game.
Yeah, absolutely. The next goal is crucial. It is 2-1 in this one. Of course, Chris Wood opened the scoring on 19 minutes from the penalty spot that gave the hosts the lead. And then, of course, West Ham scored 2 minutes later. Mikel Antonio back in the side and back with a goal. He's returned with a bang, isn't he, as the Jamaican striker. And, of course, he scored again. Ben Rama did the hard work, putting the ball into the box. It went beyond Ben Mee and Tarkovsky, and via the faintest of touches, via Antonio's knee, it went into the back of the net as he got his second and gave West Ham a 2-1 lead at the break. Both sides are now heading out onto the field of play. As you can see, David Moyes sprinting over to the dugout, which, of course, is on the far side of the pitch at Turf Moor. It is now time to hand over to your match commentator for the second half, Russ Vernon.
Thank you very much, Matt, and good evening, everybody. Once again, welcome back to Turf Moor, or as Jordan North calls it, happy place, Turf Moor, but it's not an happy place for Burnley and their supporters at this moment in time as Burnley kick us off, attacking the goal to my left, still in claret and blue shirts, white shorts and claret and blue socks. West Ham in the darker black, all strip today. The referee Anthony Taylor is in the lime green shirt, black shorts and black socks, as is the rest of the officials. We'll run you through the two teams in a moment or so once we get the break in play. And unlike in the first game with Burnley, there was no half-time sub for the referee, I can report. Anthony Taylor is still out there as Charlie Taylor collects the ball on this left-hand side for Burnley. Burnley attacking, puts the ball into the box and is deflected behind for a corner kick to Burnley at the start of this second half. Burnley are trailing by 2-1. If you're just joining us here on Football Commentary Live, you tune in to Burnley 1, West Ham United 2. And as soon as this corner's taken, I'll give you the two teams. As the ball is in towards Ben Mee at the far post, it's come off a West Ham head, so Lingard has to keep the ball in play. Comes towards Ben Rama, but West Ham can't keep hold of possession. It's Jack Cork now's the back for the Clarets. How wide it goes now to Brownhill. Now Lowton. Lowton puts the ball in. He's Vidra there to challenged by Diop, who under pressure there. Now Fornals can bring the ball away for West Ham, and now Fornals has got the ball away. Here's Mikel Antonio. Antonio across. Behind Ben Rama in there, and Tarkovsky gets the ball clear. It's come to the way of Soychek. How wide it goes now into the path of Fornals, down into the path of Ben Rama. Ben Rama with the cross in. He can't keep the ball in play. Lowton can clear the ball away before it bounced out. Before he found a West Ham shirt inside the penalty area. Burnley 1, West Ham 2 as Dawson sprays a long pass forward, picked off by Lowton, and Lowton will in the ball forward, picked off by Sufal, and West Ham have possession. As soon as the ball goes out of play or we have a break in play, we'll bring you the team news, but at the moment the game is still fast-paced moving. As Sufal puts the ball in, cleared behind for a corner off of James Tarkovsky, and that gives me time to run you through the Burnley side. It's Nick Pope in goal, Lawton, Tarkovsky, Mee and Taylor, Brownhill, Cook, McNeil, Westwood, Vidra and the goal scorer Wood. Bench of Peacock, Fowl, Norris, Goodmanson, Barnes, Stevens, Rodriguez, Peters, Bardsley and Dunn. For West Ham, as we good bit of defending from Tarkovsky, which played behind for the corner. We'll give you the West Ham side in a moment as the rain is teeming down at Turf Moor. It's not an happy place, Turf Moor, for the Clarets at this moment in time, but it is for the Hammers as Creswell will take the corner. Left-footed, in towards the penalty area, bounces across, comes to Antonio. Diop keeps the ball in and he goes behind for a goal kick. I can run you through the West Ham team now. It's Fabianski in goal, Koufal, Diop, Dawson and Creswell at the back, Soicek and Fornals in front of the back four. Then it's Benrahma, Lingard and Lanzini just behind two-goal hero Mikel Antonio. On the bench, Trott, Randolph, Balbuena, Alves, Bowen, Fredericks, Johnson, Uddebecker and Coventry. As Burnley win a throw, Taylor to take into Cork, back into Taylor. Now he's with me, and now it's with Tarkowski. Tarkowski fetches the ball forward into Westwood, who finds into Lurton, back to Westwood, who hits the ball forward, comes off Benrahma into the path of Brownhill. He's got our for Lurton. Lurton knocks it for Brownhill again. Now Westwood once more. Back to James Tarkowski, who turns away from Lingard into the midfield there, which was Westwood, and on towards Chris Wood, and he's not behind for a goal kick. Must have come off Chris Wood there. I didn't think it did. He looked like come off the West Ham man as we watch on. It's West Ham United who lead by 2-1. You're listening to Football Commentary Live. If you want to visit our Facebook page, you can do. Go to facebook.com/footcom live, where we'll keep you across what we've got coming up, and that will be from midnight. Also, say 11:59 p.m. that we'll be back posting on our social media pages from Tuesday morning. As here's Charlie Taylor. He gives the ball forward, and he's Taylor again who charges his ball down. He's Antonio. Antonio inside it goes. Lovely for working to Benrahma. Out wide now to Lingard. Down the line is Koufal. Back in to Fornals, and now Benrahma. Back to Koufal. And now it's Fornals. Now it's Benrahma. Benrahma with the ball, running and striking and dragging his shot wide in the end. Not really troubling Nick Pope in the Burnley goal from there, but Burnley are trailing by 2-1 against the Hammers. You're tuned into Football Commentary Live, the home of alternative commentary, and I'm your alternative host and your alternative commentator was running. Your alternative host for this match is Matt Isles, and a very good job at half time with some good discussion between myself and Matt, and very knowledgeable guy, whether it's commentating or presenting. As the ball's in forward, Nick Pope races out of his area as the ball is collected by Burnley, as is with McNeil. He's got Taylor on the overlap if he can get that again. Soicek, and he can. Charlie Taylor puts the ball in. Then towards goal from Brownhill. It's given away to West Ham, and West Ham will come forward again. Here's Fornals. Fornals with the ball forward. Out wide to Creswell on that far side. Down the line it goes to Mikel Antonio. Mikel Antonio attacking the goal into the penalty area for Lingard. Giving the ball away. Comes to Lanzini. Now Soicek looked as if he was going to line up a shot, but instead he plays it to Koufal. Koufal with the ball in towards Antonio. Comes off Antonio, but he took a deflection off a Burnley man in there as well, and he's going out for a throw to West Ham. And West Ham with Lingard keeping possession as Dawson finds in Koufal. Koufal back into Dawson, and he's across now to Issa Diop, and Issa Diop across again to Aaron Creswell, and now Manuel Lanzini into Antonio, back to Lanzini and Lingard, and Lanzini again. Lingard attacking the goal. It's out wide to Benrahma. Ben Roman into the box. Pulls it back towards Lingard and it's Ashley Westwood who gets the ball clear. Up towards Matty Vidra, who is brought down by Issa Diop. As he no, according to Anthony Taylor. That looked a foul to me. He's now with 4-0. Out wide is Lingard. He's got Ben Roman on the overlap and feeds him. Now it's Creswell. Back into Lingard. Lingard across to Kufal. It's out of the penalty area. It's Kufal with the cross in. Comes to Ben Roman. Now 4-0. 4-0 takes a touch. 4-0 across. Antonio's in there. Tarkowski can get the ball clear. And Tarkowski is fouled as the ball is cleared by Tarkowski. He was fouled by Antonio, I think, there. Well, as 4-0's collected the ball, he shot deflected to Antonio. As he cleared it, Antonio kicked the back of his foot from Tarkowski after he cleared the ball. Don't forget you can join the excellent Mike Orneman on commentary on Thursday evening for Villarreal's away trip to Arsenal in the Europa League, second leg. We'll bring you updates of the Man United game during that commentary is Lurton trying to attack with Diop intercepting and Ben Rama can't keep the ball in play. Westwood takes the throw quickly into Chris Wood. Cork giving away to McNeil. And now it's 4-0's coming forward. Lovely work now to Lingard. He's got Ben Rama on the overlap and Ben Rama attacking the penalty area. Plays it back for Soychek. Soychek with the ball. To a Soychek strike! Takes a block off me and Tarkowski. Comes to the foul and is deflected off to Charlie Taylor and behind. Good bit of play from West Ham to create the chances. They've got a corner which Creswell will take. Antonio's in there. Diop, Soychek, Dawson in there as well. Cork, Wood, Tarkowski in there. Tarkowski is being pulled by Dawson, but he came to Ben Rama who fired over, who clattered into Tarkowski, did Ben Rama after he had that shot. Just a little I-5 as they apologise to each other. And he's back with the goalkeeper Pope for a goal kick to Burnley. It's Burnley 1, West Ham United 2 as the ball is flicked on us. Diop to clear the ball away from the Burnley attackers in Wood and Vidra. And Tarkowski sees Vidra making the run. He's got Dawson for company. Vidra keeps the ball in play. Back it goes to Brownhill, who can't feed it through to Vidra. So he has it back to Brownhill, back to Lawton. Lawton with the ball in towards the penalty area. Ended away there by Soychek. He's only as far as me. And now picks out Taylor, who gives the ball away to Soychek. And now West Ham will come away with possession. Is 4-0. Good play this. And West Ham defending really, really well. Resolutely as well. The ball is deflected out for a throw for Creswell's clearance. And it's still 2-1 to West Ham United. If you're just joining us here on Football Commentary Live, the home of alternative commentary. 4-0 wins a free kick and West Ham to take it quickly, but the ball was moving. It was taken in the right place. Anthony Taylor from Greater Manchester is the referee, assisted by Gary Beswick and Adam Nunn. John Moss is the fourth official. Stuart Towell is on VAR, and Mark Scholes is the assistant VAR of it. So far, we've not needed VAR. Here is Soychek. Out wide to Ben Rama. Ben Rama knocks the ball back to Soychek. Across now into Creswell. Back to Ben Rama. And Said Ben Rama playing very, very well so far. He's a contender for man of the match, which I'll decide a bit later. Here's Sufal coming forward. Sufal on possession. Antonio is another contender for man of the match. We'll still guess it a little bit later on in the programme as the ball is forward. And Diop is across there to head out for a throw to Burnley as Jay Rodriguez gets some final and last minute instructions before coming onto the field of play. Be interesting to see who does he replace. Will it be Vidra or will it be Chris Wood? If I were to have a guess of a man who would probably replace, I would probably say Matty Vidra to partner Chris Wood, but we'll have to wait and see who Sean Dyche picks for J. Rodriguez to come on for. Here's Ben Rama, can't keep the ball in play, and Burnley will now make a substitution. And it is Matty Vidra, I was spot on. Just call him Mystic Rush, should I say, as Vidra is off in the 61st minute. And on comes Rodriguez for Burnley. And now it's Tarkowski with the ball forward. And it's out of play for a throw to Burnley once more. And there's a foul in there. Which way is he going to be given to here, I wonder? He's gone against Lingard, but the throw has been taken again. And now Cork gives the ball away, and Ben Rama fetches the ball forward into Antonio. And Antonio's got away from me. He's left Tarkowski and Taylor back alone defending. So Manil has to get back. Me's now bad there. Cork is back in there as well. Comes off Lowton as Lingard tried to put the cross in. And he's behind through a corner to West Ham. And I'm going to put my neck on the line here and say a very bold statement. If West Ham get the next goal, Burnley will win 4-3. Think of that way he will. It's the Ben Rama ball in. It's come for Dawson, who was offside in there. He would have counted if that had gone in, but West Ham United almost getting a third. Dawson just offside, so too Fornals, and one of the arms of Antonio was in an offside position as well as that cross came in. So if any one of them three touched it, it would have been no goal, and he didn't go in the back of the net anyway, but Burnley survive. It's still 2-1. If Burnley get the next goal, I think it's going to finish 2-2 or maybe 3-2 to Burnley. With West Ham there, it's going to be 4-3 to Burnley. Mark my words. As here is Tarkowski. If no one gets it, it's going to finish 2-1 to West Ham. Here's McNeil. With the ball in towards the penalty area. Cleared away. Looking towards Jay Rodriguez and Chris Wood is in up there. So here's McNeil. And now it's with Westwood. And Westwood will find the ball out wide for Charlie Taylor. Taylor has the ball back. And it's now with Westwood. Westwood across to Lowton. Lowton continues his run inside and feeds in McNeil. McNeil with the cross. Looking for Jay Rodriguez. With the ball down for Brownhill. Goes to Rodriguez. Shot blocked. Rodriguez stabs it wide. And how did that not go in for Burnley? From Jay Rodriguez, I thought that was going in. Love the ball in. Headed back. Brownell shot is saved. Come to Rodriguez. Shot blocked. And then he forces it wide. But a foul that was going in from Jay Rodriguez. Double block from Diop and from Dawson in there, I think he was. Ankle foul. But Burnley almost level, and that was his first real touch of the ball for Jay Rodriguez. And what a way it would have been to get on the score sheet. Burnley 1, West Ham United 2 is the scoreline. 64 minutes gone in this game, and Burnley almost equalising in this game as the ball is played into Fornals. Fornals has the ball out wide. It's Ben Roma out wide in towards a penalty area. Cleared away by me. Now Westwood acts the ball clear. Clear on to Rodriguez. But the flag is up. Rodriguez came back from an offside position. We'll see how that goes. And Burnley trailing this by 2-1. Their under 23s lost 5-2 to Leeds United earlier. But a foul on Ben Mee is being given as a free kick to West Ham. Burnley under 23s lost 5-2 to Leeds United, who won the Premier League 2 Division 2 title with a draw, with a win over Aston Villa a few weeks ago. Drew with Fulham last week, did Leeds under 23s, and then round off the campaign with a 5-2 win over Burnley this afternoon. And Leeds under 23s completed a home double. All the games undefeated as the ball is into the penalty area from McNeil in this game right here, right now, as here is called to me to Tarkowski, and now Tarkowski takes it away from Antonio, but Antonio back in with him, and Antonio fouls James Tarkowski. And here's Westwood with the ball forward. Can't pick out a man. And here's Lanzini out wide for Creswell. The ball is over the top and he's picked out Pope, and he feeds in Taylor, and Burnley can get the ball moving forward. And they have to go back to go forward, which sometimes you have to do in football, but Westwood plays a love the ball out wide to Lowton. Lowton with the ball in. Drops into the penalty area. No one on a cloud and blue shirt on the end of that, and it goes out for a throw to West Ham on this near side in front of us. And that's I love the ball in. This is the J. Rodriguez chance. Again, Brownell's shot saved fantastically well. It was Kufel and Diop in there, not Dawson and Diop, as initially mentioned. But that's a fantastic one-handed save by Fabianski to deny Brownell, and he didn't really see it till late, the first shot from Brownell, and that's a chance if they got it on target anyway. Rodriguez, I think Dawson may have been able to clear it off the line. But Burnley going closer. Can they get a goal? And force the final few minutes. West Ham going 3 points behind Chelsea in the Premier League standings. Here are Burnley with McNeil. Out wide for Charlie Taylor. Charlie Taylor will clear the ball and feed it inside to McNeil. McNeil has it again. And here's me. Across now to Westwood, and down the line it goes to Tarkowski, and all the way back to Nick Pope, who clears downfield. He's out of play for a throw to West Ham, and Nick Pope still out of his goal. So West Ham take it quickly. Down the line it's to Antonio. There's no one in the box at the moment, so he has to hold up the play. Antonio cuts in, strikes a goal, but over the bar. Wayward effort from that angle. Wouldn't have been able to get the shot in on target from that angle. Wouldn't have been able to get it in from there. So poor effort in the end as they fight towards goal. Burnley 1, West Ham United 2 is the scoreline. You're listening to Football Commentary Live, the home of alternative commentary on this Monday night football. Russ Vernon is on the mic, bringing you the commentary from this game as Chris Wood wins the header for Dwight McNeil. He knocks the ball back for Charlie Taylor, back further to me, and now to Tarkowski. And back it goes to Taylor. Taylor controls well, cuts inside away from Fornals, and then feeds it back to Tarkowski, who's got Antonio for company here, so he has to play quickly to Lawton, who knocks it back to Fabianski, and then to me, to Cork. Ball over the top looking for J. Rodriguez. Cafau's played it back towards Fabianski, but over the pass and it's gone out for a corner kick. That you did, man. That you did. West Ham almost causing their own problems here. If Burnley ought to get something from this, go down to the cheap corner given away by Kufal. As opposing towards the back post, J. Rodriguez rises, but can't direct his header back across goal into the danger area, and it's wide for a goal kick. So Soufal's been let off the hook there as Burnley tried to cause a few problems for David Moyes' side. Burnley 1, West Ham United 2 is the scoreline here on Football Commentary Live as Antonio collects the ball. Lovely one for Mikel Antonio into Jesse Lingard. Back he goes to Stoichek, and Stoichek times it well. If you want to sync up with us, I'll tell you how to do. Tell you what we're on in a few moments. Here's Antonio inside to Ben Rama. Ben Rama across now to Westwood. Westwood out wide to Creswell. Creswell into Ben Rama. Good bit of play from West Ham. Ben Rama into Antonio. Just well for Mikel Antonio. And the West Ham striker back in the side today after a few weeks after injury fires the effort just wide of the post. Very, very close and just wide in the end. Burnley 1, West Ham United 2 is the scoreline. For those that have just tuned in to us, listen to Football Commentary Live, the home of alternative commentaries. Here's Wood, who wins a throw for Burnley. Good bit of play from the Clarets number 9 as the ball is it towards McNeil on this far side. On this near side, should I say. Now Antonio can run at me. What can he do against Ben Mee here? Can get past him and feed in Fornals. Fornals up against Taylor. He puts the ball in. He was low. Comes to Creswell. Fires just wide over the target. Low driven drive just wide of the post. And Burnley almost going further behind. And that's a fantastic strike from Creswell. Just behind there. It's Burnley 1, West Ham United 2, the score line. The ball is lifted forward by Nick Pope onto the head of Stoichek. He fetches the ball down, does Rodriguez, and now it's followed by Charlie Taylor. Stoichek is back covering as Dawson won the header, but Taylor gets it back and hits it back forward. Soufal gets there for Stoichek, and now it's with Lanzini to Dawson, and now Fabianski kicks long up towards the head of Fornals, who seems to have swapped places a bit with Lanzini for the second half. Burnley making another change here as Jan-Berg Gudmundsson comes on for Dwight McNeil on 74 minutes. And the second half performance from McNeil has been fairly quiet. So Jan-Berg Gudmundsson will come on to try and liven a few things up for the Clarets and to try and help them get something from this game. As here is the ball inside by Fornals to Antonio. Here's Fornals again. Comes to Creswell, finds Ben Rama, puts the ball in, claimed easily there by Nick Pope, and Burnley have possession back as Westwood feeds the ball out wide to Lowton. Lowton inside, down the line for Chris Wood, holds off his man, but giving the ball away as Chris Wood. Now Antonio's in on the outside there. Antonio up against Chris Wood. Was back doing the defending. Chris Wood sends up Antonio. Now it's Creswell for Lanzini. Good play this from West Ham as they're keeping hold of possession, trying to run down the clock with less than 15 minutes to go. Inside Ben Rama. Ben Rama holding up Corkwell there. Now Antonio, the goal scoring hero for West Ham, who braced in the first half, turned the game on his head after a Chris Wood penalty gave Burnley the lead on 90 minutes before Antonio pulled one back and equalised on 21 minutes and then took the lead. Pulled the Hammers in the lead on 29 minutes. Is now with Cresswell. Cresswell feeds the ball out wide and Ben Rama back to Cresswell. Back to Lanzini. Lanzini controls well and he plays the ball back to Diop. Rodriguez pelling under pressure and put pressure in there very, very well up against Lanzini and Ben Rama and Fornals. On the far side, Lingard yet to have a real touch of the ball in this second half. Is Burnley what? It's Burnley 1, West Ham United 2. Here's Sulfal down the line into Lingard, giving the ball away. Is Lingard once more into the path of Fornals, who goes down. Jared Bowen getting his final instructions shortly and will be coming onto the pitch. It'll be interesting to see who he may come on for. Maybe Fornals, who just limping a few moments ago, or it could potentially be Lanzini with Fornals dropping back. But here's Wood holding up possession out wide. Jan-Berg Gudmundsson. Gudmundsson with the ball in towards the penalty area where Jay Rodriguez is in there and is out for a throw to Burnley, who are playing fairly well here. As here is James Tarkowski coming forward. Is Tarkowski out wide is Brownhill and the crosses in from Lowton and Gudmundsson can't keep the effort down as he arrived at the back post. He sliced it wide and can't keep his effort on target or goal bound. As we have a substitution now, and it is Said Ben Rama who is the man who is making way for West Ham in the 79th minute of the match. And on comes Jared Bowen. And it's West Ham United who are still leading by 2-1, making their first change of the evening. Burnley have already made two, still got one left to make as Vigil went off for Rodriguez on 61, and in a few moments ago Gudmundsson came on for Dwight McNeil. The ball is now with Diop and is back to Fabianski. Fabianski takes a touch forward. He brings the ball under control, and now it's with Jack Cork. Here is Chris Wood. We have played coming towards 79 minutes, and we've hit the 79-minute mark. Now 79. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If anyone wants to sync us up as the ball comes forward down that far side. And now Creswell has the ball back into Lanzini. Finds in Sojcek. Sojcek does well to hold off possession in Fornals. And now it's Lanzini to Bowen. Out wide is Creswell. Down the line is Lingard. Back into Creswell. Now back to Lanzini. Lingard let it run, but Fornals or Bowen wasn't there. Neither was Antonio on the same wavelength as Burnley managed to get the ball back. He's come towards Jan Gudmundsson. And Burnley win a free kick foul on Jan Gudmundsson there. Burnley 1, West Ham United 2 is the scoreline. If you're just tuning in, as Fornals came in late to challenge against the Burnley man. Then into the final 10 minutes of this game, plus any stoppage time. Hopefully you're doing okay and enjoying the coverage we are bringing you here on Football Commentary Live. It's Burnley 1, West Ham 2 as the ball is in forward. Looks to ball drop towards Jack Cork, but Burnley with Lowton threw the ball the wrong way. Ben Mee's there to tidy up, and back to Nick Pope, who tidy up, takes away from Lingard and hits forward. Lingard putting him under pressure. Wood is in there, and Tarkowski is being pushed forward to act as a makeshift striker. So Burnley now have 3 defenders. There's Antonio running at his man. He's got Fornals outside of him. Pablo Fornals goes inside. Fornals shoots, is blocked, and he goes out for a throw-in to West Ham. And Pablo Fornals has shot on this near side, the West Ham right, is blocked fantastically well there by, I think it was Charlie Taylor and Ben Mee. It was Ben Mee, in fact. Taylor forced him to cut inside, and then Ben Mee with a fantastic block, sticking out a foot to put the ball behind for a throw. As the ball is in towards the penalty area, and it goes out for a goal kick to Burnley, which Nick Pope will take. Ashley Barnes is the man who's probably going to come on, and potentially for Chris Wood, I would have thought, or it could be for one of the midfielders, and they'll probably go 4-3-3. But I'm going to hazard a guess of Chris Wood. He's a man that's going to come off for Burnley here. And now Creswell. So he's one of Lanzini outside of him and plays into Fornals instead. He's now back with Creswell down the line for Lanzini to Fornals. And now Jared Bowen and James Tarkowski is across there to tidy up fantastically well. And it's almost time for that. My choice of man of the match is West Ham win a throw-in. Brownlee will pass the ball to Creswell as West Ham were trying to time waste and not let not to open tear this, and to tell him to hurry up. The feeling that there's a foul going on there, but nothing can be given because the ball's not in play. He's taking his age to tear the throw, but then when he does, it comes off Pablo Fornals and goes out, comes off, not Pablo Fornals, Ashley Westwood, and goes behind for a throw. And just looking at the most shots in this game, it's gone to Mikel Antonio with 6, then Roma with 4, Sojcek with 4, Fornals with 4, and Rodriguez with 3. Here's Wood down the line for Rodriguez. Rodriguez can't keep the ball in play. He did, but can't keep hold of the ball. And now he's back with Fabianski, who takes a touch outside of his penalty area and clears long. Here's Taylor with the header. Drops now for Stoichek into the path of me. Now Tarkowski. Now Tarkowski again from Westwood. Back with me. Burnley still waiting to make their change, which Ashley Barnes will be coming on, or as Burnley fans call him, Ashley Barnes. And Burnley will feed the ball with Ben Mee, and Ben Mee will feed it down the line to Charlie Taylor. Charlie Taylor knocks the ball back into the path of James Tarkowski. Tarkowski will play the ball forward. He's out flicked on by Brownhill, and he's out of on the far side with Westwood. Down the line it goes. Westwood again. Here's Cork. Good play this between Burnley and West Ham. Here's Charlie Taylor with the cross in. Giving away is Lingard. Lingard goes down, and it's a free kick to West Ham United. And now the change will be made, and it'll be the booking here to Ben Mee. And I don't think I've seen a yellow card brandished yet in this game to any of the players. And it was Chris Wood, who I mentioned a few moments ago. You can call me Mystic Russ if you want, as I've got two of the three substitutes spot on for Burnley's. Barnes just comes on in the 86th minute for Chris Wood, who put Burnley into the lead. But ever since then has really struggled to get anything in this game. And that booking there for me was the first booking of the game. I thought that was the case. And the ball is it forward, looking towards Jay Rodriguez, who's now got Ashley Barnes pulling him up front, and sort of two fresh legs up front there. West Ham concede a throw in, and West Ham have to get back in position to defend. Craig Dawson also in the book there a few moments ago for a foul. He's booked down, and is it clear by West Ham up to Mikel Antonio. Across now to Jared Bowen. Jared Bowen sees space opening enough for him to run onto, and he goes down, but for now it's got through. It's going to be a free kick, and it's going to be a yellow card for which Burnley player? Johan Berg Gudmundsson gets a yellow card. That's 3 yellow cards in the space of a few minutes after me saying there's not been any yellow cards in this game, so I'm a curse. Never believe what I say anymore, unless it's to do with substitutions. That's about it, what I normally get spot on. Johan Berg Gudmundsson picks up his second booking of the campaign, and Burnley are leading by 2 goals to 1. It's Creswell with the free kick against the wall. Lowton scrambling across there to keep the ball in play. So I check across to put him under a bit of pressure. Barnes feeds in Gudmundsson. Now Berg Gudmundsson plays it out wide to Brownhill. Brownhill knocks the ball back into Westwood. Westwood with the cross. He's charged down. He finds his way towards Gudmundsson, who can't keep the ball in Burnley's favour, but Cork feeds out wide to Taylor to get the ball back for Burnley. As Taylor puts the ball in, comes off the head of Dawson behind for a corner, and with man of the match time nearly upon us, I've decided I'm going to give it to, which I'll announce in a few moments, and the reasoning why for man of the match. As we watch this corner from Burnley first of all, in towards the penalty area, comes out to the edge of the box, finding a goal, a blocked clearance, and now Lingard can get the ball clear for West Ham United, but only as far as Pope waits the ball back forward again. We'll announce man of the match in a few moments for our choice. As West Ham still lead by 2-1 here, as Rodriguez holds up the play well. Fornals is through into Jesse Lingard. Lingard can steal the win, and it's there for saved by Nick Pope with his legs. Fantastic effort by Jesse Lingard. Great run from Fornals, and Lingard's effort comes off the knee of the England teammate Nick Pope. And fantastic save from the stopper. We can now reveal your man of the match after this corner kick, which will be taken any second now as Jesse Lingard takes the corner for West Ham. Into the penalty area goes, headed away. Ashley Barnes is fouled there and he wins a free kick as we've entered 3 minutes of stoppage time. So bring your commentary services man of the match, and it is West Ham 2-goal hero Mikel Antonio led the line well, scored 2 fantastic goals and really contributed to an all-round team performance as the ball is flicked on in towards the penalty area, cleared away by West Ham United, and now Lowton knocks the ball back to Nick Pope. Fantastic. Mikel Antonio, the man of the match, sponsored by Commentary Services here on Football Commentary Live. Fantastic performance from the West Ham, and it looks as though his 2 goals in the first half will have won this game for the Hammers, unless I put any mockers on that or spoilers on that, or a curse on that, should I say, as Taylor knocks the ball back to Pope, and Pope hits the ball forward. He's coming to Goodmanson. Now Ashley Barnes. Ashley Barnes into the penalty area. He breaks off of Dawson and behind for a corner kick to West Ham. Nick Pope is coming up for this corner. Taylor up there too. I think everyone in a claret and blue shirt or a green shirt in case of Nick Pope is going to be up and inside the penalty area for West Ham. Is in for Burnley, should I say. It comes out to the edge of the box for Goodmanson. Needs to get this ball right with Pope still up there. Ball is into the penalty area. Pope attacks it. Ball drops down. West Ham make it clear. Can West Ham get on into this ball? He's headed back towards the penalty area. Jared Bowen gets the ball forward. He's giving it away to Nick Pope in the centre circle. How wide now for Burnley? Westwood. Last chance saloon now for Burnley. In towards the penalty and he goes behind for a goal kick, and that looks to be that for West Ham. And for Burnley, it looks as though Burnley last chance to get anything out of this game will have ended there with around about 30 seconds, with 30 seconds to go of stoppage time, or just under 30 seconds to go. We're coming up towards final 20 seconds of added time, unless Antonio decides to add any more on to that, as Burnley look to go to 40 yet another defeat, as here's Lingard attacking, will look to take it to the corner. Well, he goes to Fornals, back to Lingard, just keeping possession. Fornals is offside. Burnley, if they hope to get anything out of this, need to get the ball forward and quickly if they hope to get anything out of this. It looks like the time may be up as soon as this ball is kicked by Pope. And it is. I was right. The full-time whistle has gone, and Burnley have been beaten by 2-1 against West Ham United. Goals in the first half of brace from Mikel Antonio, our choice for man of the match on 21 minutes and 29 minutes. Turn the game on its head after Burnley took the lead from the penalty spot through Chris Wood in the 19th minute. Mike Horniman, congratulations on getting the goal scoreline, should I say, spot on. He said in the live comments at the start of our broadcast day when I said when we asked for predictions to come in, I'll just put it on the screen so I'm not lying. He said Burnley 1, West Ham 2 for him. Congratulations, Mike. Spot on with your prediction. Burnley 1, West Ham United 2 is a full-time score here in our Premier League match from Turf Moor. Burnley 1, West Ham United 2, Matt Tiles.
Yes, thank you, Russ. Well, I mean, it was very much Mystic Russ. I think I have to go Mystic Mike. He got the score right at the start of the game, and that's how it stayed from the 29th minute. Of course, it was Burnley that took the lead with that Chris Wood penalty in the 19th minute. His 7th goal again in their last 8 games against West Ham. He really does like playing this opposition, doesn't he? But West Ham aside, have gone behind often this season and have shown their class. They did it tonight with a dominant performance, and as the game went on, you only really thought there was one winner, and that was the visitors. 2 goals for Mikel Antonio, back in the team and back amongst the goals. 2 important goals that puts the Hammers back up to 5th and 3 points behind Chelsea as they keep alive the race for the top 4. The other game that we brought you live on Football Commentary Live earlier was the Black Country Derby. West Brom 1, Wolves 1. A draw doesn't really help West Brom in their bid to survive. But this game that we just saw, Burnley, it's no real imminent danger on their behalf. They, of course, stay 9 points clear of Fulham in the table, who, of course, are on 27. Burnley on 36 themselves know that if they win their next game, they will have confirmed survival from the Premier League, and that is the case with Newcastle as well. If Fulham aren't to win and Newcastle were to get a result, then Fulham would go down, along with West Brom, who are 10 points behind now from safety. The Hammers are 3 points behind Chelsea on 58, with Chelsea on 61, just above them. The Spurs on 56, Liverpool 54. The Hammers are looking like Chelsea's closest challengers. But Russ, time to bring you back in for the post-match analysis. You said Mikel Antonio was your man of the match, sponsored by Commentary Services this evening. Pretty easy candidate, wasn't it, for man of the match?
It was, yes. I was looking at Antonio. I was looking at Lingard from his performance. I would have probably, if he'd have stayed on a bit longer, I'd have probably gone for Ben Rama for my man of the match because I thought he played well. But with him going off with 11 minutes to go, I thought I'll look at the players who remained on that field of play, and that was can't look any further than the 2-goal hero for West Ham. Mikel Antonio led the line well, took his goals well, posed Burnley's defence quite a lot of problems, which he seems to do cause defences problems when he's on his game, and he played absolutely fantastic today. And I just want to say congratulations to our friend Mike Horniman, Mystic Mike, for his prediction of 2-1 to West Ham United today. Congratulations, mate. Your prize is just predicting the score correct that no one else could get. No money or anything involved there, I'm afraid. Sorry, Mike. But fantastic performance from West Ham. Fully deserved their victory, despite Burnley taking the lead. Yes, Burnley did have the chances, but they couldn't turn them in the second half. Neither could West Ham when they had their chances. But West Ham did what they needed to do, defend resiliently, and that's what they did throughout that second half.
Yeah, hats off to the Hammers indeed, Ross, for that performance. And for Mikel Antonio, I think when he does come into that West Ham side, I think everybody can agree that he just adds a different dimension up front to the Hammers game. Of course, he's a big guy, a player who started out as a winger in his early days with the likes of Reading, Southampton, Sheffield Wednesday and Nottingham Forest. But as he's progressed at West Ham in the sort of near 6 years he's been there, he's really become a real stalwart and has led the line for the East London club. Ross, let's just keep talking about what happened this evening. West Ham, as the game went on, as I sort of alluded to earlier, just seemed to get better and better. They really grinded it out. The only real thing I saw of note was that save from Fabianski that denied Rodriguez, and then, of course, he got the rebound straight to him, which he couldn't get on target. Apart from that, it was a real resilient display from West Ham, as they've pretty much done all season, haven't they? That is what has been a real secret for them, isn't it? Not just their counter-attacking play, but the fact that they can be very, very solid at the back when they really need to be, don't they?
They do, yes. And from the back line today, at times West Ham went to a three-man defence with Creswell, Dawson and Diop, with with Lingard sort of playing the left wing back role, with Koufal playing the right wing back role at times. But overall, whether it was a back three, back four, back five, or whatever West Ham decided to play tonight, they were never really troubled. The keeper, apart from that one save in the second half, through Jay Rodriguez, didn't really have anything to do in the second half, where he pulled off that fantastic save from Brownhill, and then Rodriguez had that chance blocked, and then put it wide. But other than that, it was a fairly quiet day at the office for Lucas Fabianski in the West Ham goal. But in the other end, Nick Pope was made to work for his evening's performance and his wages tonight, because if he hadn't performed well and kept the score down, it could have been more than two. He kept Burnley in the game for large parts of that match today.
Yeah, he did as well. I mean, obviously, we've seen two good games this Monday evening. Of course, we saw quite a good contest with West Brom and Wolves, which ended in a fair 1-1 draw, which, of course, Kieran Ronnie brought you earlier on Football Commentary Live. And, of course, it was real adverse weather conditions in which the rain was absolutely tipping down in West Bromwich for that game. And, of course, we did see the worst of the weather at times at Turf Moor, not as much as what we saw in the game that kicked off at 6 o'clock between West Brom and Wolves, but of course we still did see blustery winds, easy for me to say, and of course real heavy rain as such. Russ, West Ham, we know they had to win tonight, given that Chelsea beat them 9 days ago, and of course they recorded a comfortable win over Fulham on Saturday. Is there still a hope for you that they can get into the top four? I mean, Chelsea's running is not the easiest. You know, they've got to play Leicester. They've got Manchester City on Saturday, a game that, is going to be so important for Manchester City as much as them, because they can win the title. And you look at West Ham, a side who've just grown in confidence. They're really starting to be took notice of by people now. And they will take on... just trying to look at their fixtures now. They take on Everton at 4:30 on Sunday. So is there a chance for you that West Ham can seriously challenge Chelsea all the way toward the end of the season for the top four? Do you still hold that belief that it might just be a little bit too much for them?
Yes, I think they do. I think if you look at the fixtures, looking at the fixtures for West Ham, they've got Everton, then they play against Brighton, then they've got the game against West Brom, and then they finish off with Southampton. Two of those teams are down near the bottom. The only probably odd one in that, I'd say, is Everton, with Everton playing well in recent weeks and performing well and going well in the Premier League. But the other fixtures in there for West Ham is fairly easy. If you look at the Chelsea side, the Chelsea fixture, should I say, they've got Man City on Saturday, who's looking to win to clinch the title. Then they've got Arsenal as well, who a bit hit and miss in the Premier League this season. They've then got Leicester, which is going to be a tough game, and then they finish off with Aston Villa, which is also going to be a tough game. So if I look at that and say, if West Ham win 3 out of their next four matches that they've got left this season, I think, and Chelsea slip up twice in their running against Man City and against Leicester, then I can see West Ham just pipping Chelsea to 4th spot and the final Champions League place. But if West Ham were to lose one of those easier matches, I think Chelsea will get the 4th spot. But I think if I'm going to put my money where my mouth is, I'd say West Ham will get the fourth Champions League spot looking at both sets of fixtures.
It's a bold statement that has been made given Chelsea's phenomenal record under Thomas Tuchel, where they've suffered just 2 defeats since he came in through the door in late January. But of course, West Ham 3 points behind Chelsea with that win tonight. 17 wins from 34. They know that if any slip up Chelsea have and they win and they pounce on it, then they are very firmly right in this race. It does have that feeling that it will go right to the wire. Just before we wrap up, elsewhere in the football world, we of course saw the earlier game on Football Commentary Live. The 6 p.m. game, the Black Country Derby, was honours even. West Brom 1, Wolves 1. West Brom stayed 10 points from safety. They could be down at the weekend should they lose, remember. Of course, if Burnley and Newcastle were to both get victories and they weren't to win, they would be relegated this weekend. They've got Arsenal at 7 p.m. next week and next Sunday, and they know that they have to at least win, potentially, and hope results go in their favour to stay afloat in the Premier League. That could be the case for Fulham, who could also find themselves going down. And of course, they are playing on Monday when they entertain Burnley, would you believe, a side that we, of course, have just seen this evening. Elsewhere, of course, there was games in the National League. Big wins for Torquay as they continue to stay at the top of the tree in the National League following a 2-0 win at Chesterfield. Hartlepool were beaten by Bromley as their promotion hopes have taken a bit of a dent. Stockport won at home to Wealdstone. That keeps them right in the push for it. They've gone to third. Sutton, of course, play Notts County tomorrow and have 2 games in hand on Torquay, so it still is very much in the South London side's court. We also saw the non-league finals day take place from 2020, of course, which was supposed to be played last year. Congratulations to Hebburn Town, winners of the FA Vase. They won by 3-2 against Consett in that all-North East final. And, of course, Harrogate Town, who, of course, took on Concord Rangers, a side very, very close to West Ham as well in terms of geographical area. They won at Wembley to win by 1-0. Josh Falcon, the captain, to score to wrap up their second win in 9 months at the National Stadium at the home of football. But it's full time at Turf Moor. It's finished Burnley 1, West Ham 2, and the Hammers bubble hasn't quite burst on Champions League football. We'll see you very, very soon. And goodbye for now.